Jeremy Clarkson, a figure synonymous with unfiltered opinions and larger-than-life television presence, made headlines once again by doing what he does best, stirring controversy. This time, the stage was a high-profile live television broadcast, and the subject of his ire was none other than the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. With his trademark candor, Clarkson demanded Starmer's resignation, sending shockwaves across political and media circles. The unexpected moment wasn't just a headline-grabbing stunt. It was a reflection of deeper political tensions, media influence, and the evolving relationship between public figures and politics. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Clarkson's demand for Starmer to resign wasn't a casual quip. It was a thunderous declaration that reverberated far beyond the confines of the studio. Known for his sharp wit and outspoken personality, Clarkson seized the opportunity to express a frustration that many viewers found relatable, even if divisive. His outburst wasn't rooted in a singular issue but seemed to encompass a broader dissatisfaction with Starmer's leadership style, and what some perceive as his inability to connect with the electorate. In this electrified moment, Clarkson became a megaphone for a growing segment of the population disillusioned with traditional political discourse. The live nature of the event heightened its impact. There's something uniquely visceral about watching such a moment unfold in real time. The immediacy of Clarkson's remarks left no room for sanitization or PR spin, capturing a rawness that rarely escapes the controlled environment of political commentary. For viewers, it was as if someone had finally voiced the simmering frustrations that polite society often keeps hidden. The directness of Clarkson's call to action, demanding that Starmer step down, broke through the usual political jargon, making it impossible to ignore. This incident also underscores the increasing role of celebrity voices in shaping political narratives. Clarkson, primarily known for his work on Top Gear and his subsequent ventures, is not a politician or a political analyst, yet his fame and his status as a cultural provocateur have granted him a platform that rivals, if not surpasses, that of many traditional political commentators. His critique of Starmer was not presented as a measured analysis, but as a visceral, emotional appeal. This approach, while polarizing, resonates deeply with audiences fatigued by the often detached language of politicians. The cultural phenomenon of celebrities stepping into political debates is not new, but Clarkson's intervention highlights the double-edged sword of such involvement. On one hand, figures like Clarkson can cut through the noise, bringing attention to issues in ways that conventional media struggles to achieve. On the other hand, the lack of accountability and expertise raises questions about the long-term implications of this trend. Clarkson's call for Starmer's resignation may resonate with many, but it also exemplifies how celebrity influence can bypass the usual checks and balances of informed political discourse. From a political standpoint, Clarkson's outburst is a reflection of the increasingly fractured state of British politics. Starmer, as leader of the Labour Party, has faced both praise and criticism for his efforts to reposition the party after years of internal turmoil. While some view him as a steady hand capable of restoring Labour's credibility, others see him as overly cautious and disconnected from the working-class roots of his party. Clarkson's demand for his resignation taps into this broader narrative of dissatisfaction, particularly among those who feel that Starmer has failed to provide a compelling alternative to the ruling Conservatives. The timing of Clarkson's remarks adds another layer of complexity to the story. The UK is grappling with a host of challenges, from economic uncertainty to social inequality, and the political climate is rife with tension. Starmer's leadership is under scrutiny not just from his political opponents, but also from within his own party. Against this backdrop, Clarkson's dramatic intervention serves as a barometer for the public mood, capturing a sense of impatience and disillusionment that transcends traditional party lines. The media's role in amplifying this moment cannot be overstated. Within minutes of Clarkson's declaration, social media platforms exploded with reactions, ranging from fervent agreement to outright condemnation. News outlets dissected the event from every angle, analyzing not only the content of Clarkson's remarks, but also their potential impact on Starmer's political future. In the age of 24-hour news cycles and viral content, such moments are no longer confined to their original context. Instead, they take on a life of their own, influencing public opinion in ways that are both immediate and far-reaching. What makes Clarkson's demand particularly noteworthy is its potential to shift the political landscape. While it's unlikely that a single outburst, even from someone as high-profile as Clarkson, would directly lead to Starmer's resignation, the cumulative effect of such moments can be significant. They contribute to a broader narrative, shaping perceptions of leadership and legitimacy. For Starmer, the challenge lies not only in addressing the substantive criticisms raised by figures like Clarkson, but also in countering the symbolic weight of such public denunciations. At the heart of this incident is a deeper question about the nature of modern leadership. In an era defined by rapid change and unprecedented challenges, the expectations placed on political leaders are higher than ever. Clarkson's critique of Starmer, while incendiary, touches on a sentiment that many feel: a yearning for more decisive, visionary leadership. Whether or not one agrees with Clarkson's specific grievances, his demand for Starmer's resignation reflects a broader desire for change and a sense of urgency that transcends ideological divides. Clarkson's call for Starmer to step down also highlights the tension between authenticity and decorum in political discourse. Clarkson's brash, unfiltered style stands in stark contrast to the polished, carefully managed image that politicians like Starmer often project. For some, this rawness is a breath of fresh air, a reminder that politics should be about real people and real issues, not just sound bites and spin. For others, it's a troubling sign of the erosion of civility and respect in public life. This clash of styles underscores the broader cultural shifts shaping contemporary politics, where traditional norms are increasingly being challenged by new, disruptive voices. The implications of this moment extend beyond Starmer and Clarkson. It raises important questions about the role of media in shaping political discourse and the responsibility of public figures to use their platforms wisely. Clarkson's demand for Starmer's resignation is not just a critique of one leader, but a reflection of the broader challenges facing modern democracy. In a world where information travels faster than ever and public opinion is increasingly volatile, moments like this serve as a reminder of the power and the pitfalls of public influence. Jeremy Clarkson's live television outburst calling for Prime Minister Keir Starmer's resignation wasn't just a bombshell in the world of British politics and media, it was a cultural event that rippled through the fabric of public consciousness. It added another chapter to the long history of celebrity interventions in political affairs, a dynamic that grows more complex with each passing year. The sheer audacity of Clarkson's remarks ensured that they would resonate far beyond the immediate audience, serving as a focal point for debates about accountability, leadership, and the role of media personalities in shaping public dialogue. One of the most striking elements of Clarkson's tirade was the theatricality of it all. Clarkson is no stranger to controversy, but this event felt different, even for him. The medium of live television amplified his words to an almost Shakespearean level, capturing a moment so raw and visceral that it seemed scripted for maximum impact. There is a certain drama inherent in live broadcasts, where the absence of a safety net creates an environment ripe for unpredictability. Clarkson's calculated spontaneity, if such a thing can exist, capitalized on this perfectly. Every word, every gesture, seemed designed to cut through the noise, to transcend the usual barriers of political discourse and strike directly at the heart of public sentiment. This spectacle raises important questions about the intersection of entertainment and politics. Clarkson, after all, is an entertainer first and foremost. His career has been built on a foundation of humor, irreverence, and controversy, qualities that don't traditionally align with the seriousness of political critique. Yet it is precisely these qualities that made his remarks so impactful. In a world where traditional political rhetoric often fails to engage the public, Clarkson's blend of showmanship and candor offered a stark contrast. It wasn't just what he said, but how he said it that made people sit up and take notice. His words carried a sense of urgency and authenticity that many feel is lacking in the political arena. The implications of this moment for Starmer's leadership are profound. While it's unlikely that Clarkson's comments alone could topple a prime minister, they contribute to a growing chorus of criticism that Starmer cannot afford to ignore. Political leaders often face dissent from within their own ranks, from opposition parties, and from the media. What makes Clarkson's intervention unique is its ability to bridge these divides, uniting a diverse array of critics under a shared sense of frustration. For Starmer, the challenge is not just to counter Clarkson's specific criticisms, but to address the broader discontent that they represent. Clarkson's demand also brings into sharp focus the evolving role of public opinion in shaping political outcomes. In an age where social media amplifies every voice, the line between legitimate political critique and populist grandstanding becomes increasingly blurred. Clarkson's remarks, while undoubtedly provocative, tapped into a vein of dissatisfaction that resonates with many. This phenomenon isn't unique to the UK. Across the globe, we are seeing a shift toward a more direct, emotionally charged form of political engagement. Figures like Clarkson, who can articulate complex issues in simple, relatable terms, are increasingly influential in this environment. The cultural significance of Clarkson's outburst extends beyond its immediate political implications. It speaks to a broader shift in the way we consume and interpret information. Traditional news outlets, with their emphasis on objectivity and balance, often struggle to capture the emotional intensity of public sentiment. Clarkson's remarks, by contrast, were unfiltered and unapologetic, offering a raw glimpse into the frustrations that many people feel but rarely see reflected in mainstream discourse. This ability to connect on an emotional level is a hallmark of successful communication in the modern age, and it's a skill that Clarkson has honed to perfection over the course of his career. For Keir Starmer, the fallout from this incident is likely to be multifaceted. On one level, it represents a public relations challenge, forcing him to address criticisms that might otherwise have been dismissed as fringe complaints. On another level, it serves as a litmus test for his leadership style and resilience. How Starmer responds to this moment, whether by engaging directly with Clarkson's critiques or by focusing on his broader vision for the country, will be a key factor in determining his political fate. Leadership, after all, is as much about perception as it is about policy, and Clarkson's remarks have undoubtedly shaped perceptions in ways that Starmer cannot afford to ignore. The broader political context in which this event unfolded is also worth examining. The UK is currently facing a period of significant upheaval, with economic challenges, social divisions, and geopolitical uncertainties all placing immense pressure on political leaders. In this environment, the demand for decisive visionary leadership has never been greater. Clarkson's critique of Starmer can be seen as a reflection of this broader climate of discontent, where the public's patience for incremental change and cautious policy making is wearing thin. Whether justified or not, there is a growing sense that the challenges of our time require bold, transformative action, and many feel that Starmer has yet to rise to this occasion. This sense of urgency is compounded by the unique pressures of modern media. In the past, political leaders could rely on a degree of separation between themselves and their critics. Today, that separation has all but disappeared, replaced by a constant barrage of commentary from every corner of society. Clarkson's remarks are a prime example of this phenomenon, illustrating how a single moment can dominate the news cycle and shape public opinion in ways that are difficult to predict or control. For politicians like Starmer, the challenge is not just to navigate this new media landscape, but to find ways to thrive within it. One of the most fascinating aspects of this story is the way it blurs the boundaries between different spheres of influence. Clarkson, a television personality, has now positioned himself as a political commentator, albeit an unconventional one. This crossover is emblematic of a larger trend, where the lines between entertainment, politics, and journalism are becoming increasingly porous. Figures like Clarkson, with their ability to command attention and articulate complex ideas in simple terms, are uniquely positioned to thrive in this environment. However, this convergence of roles also raises important questions about accountability and expertise. While Clarkson's remarks may resonate with many, they also highlight the potential risks of relying on celebrity voices to shape political discourse. From a sociological perspective, Clarkson's demand for Starmer's resignation can be seen as a reflection of the changing dynamics of authority and influence. In the past, political power was largely confined to elected officials and institutional leaders. Today, that power is increasingly distributed across a wide range of actors, from social media influencers to cultural icons. Clarkson's intervention is a prime example of this shift, illustrating how individuals outside the traditional political establishment can wield significant influence over public opinion. This democratization of influence has its advantages, but it also poses challenges for those tasked with governing in an increasingly fragmented and unpredictable world. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us. What are your thoughts on Jeremy Clarkson demanding Keir Starmer resign on live TV? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.